Tonight is the night of the flower garlands. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for coming this evening. My name is Ramai Swami, and my great pleasure to be with you on this last day of the Kartik month. Very, very auspicious. And tomorrow it'll be Margashisha month. That is the favorite month of Krishna. So this Kartik month is the favorite month of Srimati Radharani. And of course, Radharani's mother, she was given a special name because at the time it was popular for the girls in the Braja area to be named after the daughters of Daksha. Daksha was a Prajapati, and so Radharani's mother was named Kirtika. Kirtika. And the Kirtika is short for Kirtida. Not short, but actually is a variation of Kirtida. So we know that the mother of Radharani was Kirtida and her father was King Vrishabhanu. So Kirtida, and actually she was named Kirtika, which is a variation, Kirtika. And Radharani was given one name, she was called Kartiki. Kartiki means the one who was born from Kirtika. So she was known as Kartiki, born from Kirtika, and her favorite month is this month, and that month became Kartika. So we have the Kartika from Kartiki, and originally from the mother Kirtika. So it is very interesting, the connection. And so of course Radharani, she likes this month because so many different leelas, especially at the beginning of the month, there was Krishna Saradiya Rasa Yatra at the full moon. Now today is supposed to be full moon. This is the Kartik Purnim. So in the beginning of the month, the Saradiya month, and there was Rasa Leela dancing. Rasa Leela dancing. Radha and Krishna, all the gopis were dancing on the full moon. And then on this night, supposed to be also at that time, another full moon, also Rasa Leela dancing. So of all the Leelas of Radha and Krishna, Radharani enjoys Rasa Leela the most. When she's dancing with Krishna, and Krishna's dancing with Radha, and of course all the other gopis are dancing, but when Srimati Radharani dances, she dances so wonderfully that even the gopis who are very expert at dancing, they stop and they watch Radharani's dancing. Because even the gopis who are so good, her Radharani's dancing surpasses their dancing. And also the gopis are very good at playing the musical instruments, so many different types of the musical instruments. But Srimati Radharani, she knows so many extra musical instruments and even more than the gopis. So when she's playing all the different musical instruments, they stop playing their musical instruments, they're listening to her play the musical instruments. She's also a very good flute player. Now, Krishna is famous for flute playing, but Radharani is also very good at flute playing. So Krishna plays different melodies, especially there are 8 main melodies that Krishna plays. And when Krishna plays the first melody, they said the moon just stops and the rivers just stop. Different effects of when Krishna plays the flute. The peacocks, the animals, they all stop. They're just looking at Krishna. They're mesmerized by that particular melody of the Krishna's flute playing. Sometimes Krishna asks Radha to play her flute. So she plays such wonderful flute that even Krishna is mesmerized by her flute playing. So Kartik month, as I said, very auspicious. The last 5 days, especially, is known as Bhishma Panchaka, where Bhishma Day, he was at the battle of the Kurukshetra. I was just in the Kurukshetra, just in February. And there we have a very nice temple, ISKCON temple. And Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, of course, in the Jyotisa. It is the Kurukshetra township, and the Jyotisa is a little bit away. And that place, there's a nice chariot, and Arjuna is in the back, Krishna is in the front with all the horses. And that is the place where Arjuna asked Krishna to pull the chariot. He wanted to see all the others on the other side. And then they had the conversation of Bhagavad Gita. So at that place, Srila Prabhupada went there and he said, this is a very important place because Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. We should try to get some land here because the pilgrims come here, they just see the statue of Arjuna and Krishna, they spend 5 minutes and then they go away. So if we have to make some nice temple here, then we can have kirtan, we can have Bhagavad Gita all day, we can have prasadam distribution, we can have so many different activities here at this place, a very important, one of the most important places of the universe. And so Prabhupada wanted that, and we were trying from the government. The government after some time was agreeable, but some of the local people, they thought that shouldn't be just one group having this land, so we respected their wishes, and so we got some land nearby the Jyotis, just nearby. And when you go there, the temple is made in the form of the chariot, so looking like the chariot of Arjuna and Krishna. Now on the side is big wheels, like the chariot wheels. In the front there's Krishna, Arjuna on the chariot, and there's big horses. So that's in the front, and in the side is the chariot wheels. A very nice temple. If you ever go to the Kurukshetra, please go and visit. They actually, it's not quite finished. Next year they'll be open in the Kurukshetra. We have one center in the Kurukshetra township. This other one, more bigger one, will be in the place of the Jyotisa. So Krishna spoke this many years ago, this Bhagavad Gita, and of course, Krishna's favorite month is Margashisha, which is starting tomorrow. But Kartik month becomes his favorite because it is Srimati Radharani's month. So especially she likes Rasa Leela, and also the Diwali is this month, and we have on the Diwali day we have the Leela of Damodar, just like we have Jasoda, and Krishna there. We have the deity, Mother Jasoda, and Krishna, and she's tying little Krishna to the grinding mortar. Very wonderful story in this connection, that one time Mother Jasoda, she was making trying to make the butter from the yogurt, and as she was making it, she was singing about Krishna, because she had so much love and affection for Krishna. In those days, they didn't have the cinema, they didn't have the Netflix, or they didn't have anything like that. So for their entertainment, they would just sing songs. And the householders, they would get some people who were very expert in singing the songs. And singing the songs, they would get them. But Mother Yasoda was so expert that she herself sang the songs, and generally they would sing the songs about what the family was doing, what they were planning to do in the future, what they did in the past, what they're doing in the present. But Mother Yasoda, she just sang about Krishna, all the different pastimes, and she sang so sweetly. She was so expert at doing that. Normally you would have to get the Brahmanas, the Vipras, those who were expert in making the songs or making the music. But Mother Yasoda just sang herself about Krishna. And so, of course, when she was making the butter, Krishna was in the next room. He was sleeping, but he felt hungry, and he came into the room where Mother Yasoda was there. And so she was tending, but Krishna was tugging on her sari. He said, "I am very hungry, Mother. Please feed me." So Mother Yasoda put little Krishna on her lap, and she was feeding little Krishna at that time. But just also simultaneously, she had some milk on the stove, and the milk was boiling over. So she put Krishna down and went to take the milk from the stove. At that time, Krishna didn't like to be just put down. He was feeding from his mother, and he thought that this was not very nice that she was doing like that, so he became a little angry. We have to remember that little Krishna is still Bhagavan. Here's Bhagavan, and he's manifesting different pastimes, we call different leelas, and just playing the part of the son. Mother Yasoda, of course, is eternal mother. So he's playing the part. And so he became a little angry that she put him down. She took the milk off the stove, and that milk went down. But then when she came back, she found that the pot she was trying to make from the yogurt into the butter, that was broken all over the floor. Little Krishna became angry. He just took the pot and he broke it on the floor, and all the yogurt went everywhere. And then she saw the Krishna's little footprints walking through the yogurt into the next room. So she followed the footprints, and there was Krishna. He climbed up on another grinding mortar, and there was some butter was kept hanging. The Dhammadarastika, a song that we sing, talks about the butter that was kept hanging from the sweet. So he climbed up, and he was getting the butter down, and he was eating it, and it was going all over his face. Also, he invited the monkeys. The monkeys, he was feeding all the monkeys this butter, and also he invited the crows. Now, the monkeys, interesting story that from the Ram Leela, if you remember Lord Ram, the monkeys, when they were building the bridge to Lanka, the monkeys were sacrificing, they were helping him to build the bridge, they were helping him to fight with Ravana and all the Rakshasas. So after the battle was finished, after the Lord Ram killed Ravana and captured Sita again, he told all the monkeys, you have sacrificed so much for me by building the bridge and then by fighting in the battle, that I am indebted to you, and in my next incarnation I will look after you very nicely. Don't have any worry for that. So when Ram came back as Krishna again, he was always looking after the monkeys. He was always calling them. And little Krishna wouldn't just take the butter from Mother Yasoda's, he would go to the other gopis' places and sneak in their house. When they made the butter, he would sneak inside and take that butter, like stealing the butter from the other gopis' houses. This is also Leela of Krishna. He knew that the gopis were very affectionate to him. They were more affectionate to him than even their own children. This is a very unusual thing. So this is how much affection they had for little Krishna. So externally they complained to Mother Yasoda, you know, your son, he comes and breaks into our house and he eats the butter and feeds to the monkeys. He's a very bad boy. You have to do something to discipline your son. He's coming in here and taking all the butter. So externally they complained, but internally they were very happy. They were very happy that Krishna came to their house and took the butter. And then Mother Yasoda, when she heard these complaints, said, oh, this is not very good. So why is he going to the others? We have plenty of butter here. Maybe the other gopis have better butter, better quality butter. So I will find the best cows. That Nanda Maharaj had so many cows. I will find the best cows giving the best quality milk, that feeding on the best grasses. I will find the best cows on the best grasses, and I will take their milk, and I will make butter that is even more better. And Krishna won't want to go and take butter there. So all these different leelas of this Yasoda Damodar. And so Krishna was feeding on the butter, and then Mother Yasoda came, and he was very afraid. She said, oh, my little Krishna, he must be disciplined. She showed a stick, and then he ran away. He ran away. And Mother Yasoda was running after him, and much commotion, but she couldn't catch him. Every time she came close, Krishna would run more fast. And so a lot of commotion was there. All the other gopis from around the area, they heard all the noise. They all came out. They were all watching this wondrous pastime. They didn't want to take any sides of Mother Yasoda or little Krishna. They just were watching. And so every time Mother Yasoda got close, Krishna would run more faster. So at one point, Krishna saw that his mother was getting very tired. She was perspiring. All the flowers, she used to wear the flowers in the hair that fell on the ground. He said, I better let Mother catch me. And so he stopped. And then she got some rope, and she was going to tie him up. You see that this is there with the grinding mortar. She was going to tie him up. But each time she got the rope, she was 2 fingers too short with the rope. And so she got more rope, she tied that rope to the other rope, still 2 fingers too short. The fingers represent, one finger represents Krishna, the other one represents the devotee. So the devotee's effort and Krishna's mercy gives perfection. So finally, after getting so many ropes, Krishna said that I've played enough tricks on my mother, I will let her tie me up. So he allowed her to tie him up, and so he was bound. But he was crying, "Mother, mother, why are you tying me up? Please let me go." He was crying. In the meantime, Lord Balaram was with his mother Rohini. They had gone away for the day, and they were coming back. And someone ran up to Balaram, "You know your brother Krishna, he's tied up." And Balaram became angry. "Who has dared to tie up my brother? What asura has dared to tie up my brother? I will immediately go there and kill this demon who's dared to tie up my brother." So then he went running. Balaram went running, ready to punish the asura who had tied up his brother Krishna. And Krishna was crying out, "Please help me," like that. So then when he got close, someone stopped him and said, "Actually it was Mother Yasoda who tied him up." Then he stopped. Balaram stopped. "Oh, Mother Yasoda tied him up. I can't take any action." I can't take any action. But Krishna was crying, "Brother, please help me, save me. Please untie me." And Balaram said, "No, I would like to untie you, but Mother Yasoda, she's tied you up, and I can't take it. I can't go against her. I can't go against Mother Yasoda." Then Krishna cried, "Well, at least go talk to her. Go talk to her and convince her to untie me." But Balaram, he said, "Oh, that I can. Okay, I will go and try to convince her to untie you." And so Balaram went there and he started speaking. She was busy. She'd already tied Krishna up and she was doing some other activities. So then Balaram, he got her attention and said, "Mother, you've tied up Krishna. Do you know who he is? You have tied up Krishna. Do you know who he is?" And she said, "Oh, who is he?" And Balaram said, "Oh, he is none other than Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, who's come." I've already got. He's come into this world. He is the origin of all the universes. He expands in so many ways. He has so many energies. Or even the great demigods, they worship him. This is who you've tied up. "Oh, I've tied up." And he said, so he is like a god, Mother Yasoda. He is like a god. Yes, he is the god. So who are you? Who are you? He is Krishna, your brother, is a god. And who are you? I am his first expansion. By my energy, all the universes are held up. So Mother Yasoda said, "So you are like the god also?" And he said, "Yes, he is the god, I am the god, we are both the gods." So Mother Yasoda said very sharply and sarcastically, "So you both are the gods. The gods have got no other better business than to come to my house and disturb me while I'm trying to do my activities. Get out from here, I'll tie you up as well." She was chastised Balaram. So Balaram, he looked at Krishna and said, "I tried to do that. She told me I don't want to end up like you, also tied up like you're tied up." So this is a very wonderful story. There's so many different stories told by our great gurus about Damodar and offering the lamps to Krishna. You very much know the Kartik month, very auspicious. Anyone who does a little bit devotional service in the Kartik month, it is said at least 100 times better than doing any service in any other time. Any other time. You do any service, you do any brata, any austerity to please Radharani, especially this is her month. If you please Radharani, and Radharani is very pleased by anyone who does service to Krishna. If you please Radharani, then Krishna automatically is going to be pleased. So the devotees, we always take advantage of the Kartik month. The whole month, there's so many different leelas, so many pastimes. And so the Gaudiya Vaishnavas especially, they like to observe all these different festivals. The Govardhana Puja was just last week. Gopastami, where Krishna goes from when he is the young boy looking after the calves, he goes to looking after the cows as well. Goes from the Kumara age, he goes to the Poganda age. So many different pastimes, the appearance of Shamakund, Radhakund, and so many, practically every day. Practically every day of the Kartik month, there's some festival. So one who observes these festivals, is considered very fortunate. If you just offer the lamp, anyone who lights the lamp for the others who are offering the lamp, even that person. In many of our temples there's much competition on who is going to light the lamps for the other devotees, because they understand that by even lighting the lamps for the devotees who are offering the lamps, that person gets so much benefit. Even there's one story, one mouse was living in the deity room, and every night after everyone offered during the Kartik, when they are offering the lamps, that mouse would go and eat the ghee from the lamps. And so one time the mouse was very hungry and couldn't wait for the flame to go out. So he just was eating the ghee, but the flame was there and burnt the whiskers and burnt the mouth of the mouse. So the mouse was jumping up and down, jumping up and down. So the deities, Radha and Krishna, were looking, oh, this mouse is dancing. This mouse is dancing for me. So Krishna, even that mouse actually became everything became on fire, that mouse died. But Krishna was so much thinking of that mouse that in the next life, that mouse came back in the human form as a very high-class lady who would like to come, especially in the Kartik month, offer the lamps and dance before Radha and Krishna. And in the end of that life, she went back to Radha and Krishna. So beneficial to offer the lamp. And someone who lights the lamps, as I said. So many wonderful activities. So we're going to offer the lamps tonight. So as I said, this is the last day of the Kartik, and tomorrow is another month. But Bhishma Dev, he fasted, going back to what I was talking about, Kurukshetra. There's a place you can visit at Kurukshetra where Bhishma was lying on the bed of the arrows. He'd been shot by the arrows of Arjuna. He was lying there. And at the last 5 days of the Kartik, Bhishma Dev decided to do fasting. And also at the same time, Krishna was speaking to Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira became very depressed at the end of the battle of the Kurukshetra, because he said that so many have been killed on my account for me to become the king. So he became very depressed. He wouldn't take the position of the king. He wouldn't come out of his room. Yudhishthira wouldn't come out of his room. So somebody went to talk to him. No, your duty is to. And even Krishna went there, but he wasn't convinced. Bhimsena went there. He was a little bit more convinced by Bhimsena's presentation. So Krishna said, let us go and you hear from Bhishma Dev. You hear from Bhishma Dev. So they all went, all the Pandavas went to see Bhishma Dev at the Kurukshetra. And he was fasting. So even he was fasting, lying on the bed of arrows, and he was giving instruction to Yudhishthira what is the duties of the king, and why it is his duty to take up the position of the king. So Yudhishthira was convinced by the words of Bhishma Dev. So just imagine, fasting, already it's hard enough fasting. One devotee told me that he is feeling a little bit, he was fasting, and he wasn't thinking very clearly because he had done fasting. So, but Bhishma Dev was doing 5 days fasting, lying on the bed of the arrows. So we're thinking we're doing some bratas, but can we do like Bhishma Dev? We can't do that. But nevertheless, if we try to do something, and so these last 5 days, if anyone does some extra things, extra chanting, extra brata, it is very auspicious. Krishna becomes so happy. He actually said to Bhishma, I'm so happy with you, I'm naming this 5 days after you. I'm naming it Bhishma Pancha. So Krishna gave the name because of what Bhishma did. So wonderful stories. So thank you very much. I noticed how you were also devoted, decorating, making a nice altar here, making decorations in the back. You were showing such love and devotion. So Radharani is very much pleased when affection is shown to Krishna, and to, of course, offering the lamp. Of course, also we have today, also I believe we're observing the Tulsi Vivaha ceremony, is that right? Is it correct? We're having Tulsi Vivaha, the circumambulating. Yeah. That is a whole other story. Tulsi Vivaha. Brinda Devi was dancing with Krishna, and Krishna was dancing also with Radha. So Krishna decided to show a little bit more attention to Brinda, and she was in ecstasy. Vrinda was in ecstasy to get more attention from Krishna, and she felt so much love, spontaneous love for Krishna. Radharani saw that she was doing some leela also. She cursed her to take birth on the Radharani because Krishna showed her, and Vrinda was becoming close. But that's how she came in the world. And she took birth as the daughter of one king and one queen, and she did tapasya. She was very beautiful. They called her Tulsi, a very beautiful girl, and they called her Tulsi. Before in Krishna Lila, she was Brinda Devi, very close associate of Radharani, and arranging all the different leelas of Radha and Krishna. Very close. Just like expansion actually is mentioned, expansion of Radha. Brinda Devi is considered expansion of Radha. Somehow or other Radha cursed her, but this was all predestined that she had to come in the world. But so she took birth in the world, and she only had thoughts of Krishna. She could remember her last life as Brinda. She remembered her last life. She only had thoughts of Krishna. And so she went to the Badrik Ashram in the Himalaya. She went to the Badrik Ashram in the Himalaya and performed tapasya, great austerities for many thousands of years. Many thousands. In the end, she wasn't eating anything, just breathing air. Breathing air. And she was she was worshipping the Lord Brahma. So when Lord Brahma came, he said, yes, I can see you're doing great Brahmani. So one time Krishna had gone to be with another gopi, Viraja, and then Radha found out about it. And then she went there with her gopis to chastise him. But then when they were coming close, Krishna could divide, and Viraja knew, so Krishna just became invisible. And Viraja became a river. So when Radharani arrived there with all the gopis, she understood Viraja has become a river. Krishna has become invisible. All right. So she went back. She went back. So then when Krishna came there again, he wanted to be with Radha again. When he was coming, Radharani told her gopi friends, don't let him in here. Don't let him inside here. That Krishna, he went with Viraja. Don't let him inside. And then she started to say some bad things against Krishna. But this is all Leela. You shouldn't misunderstand this. So Sridham, who is Krishna's very close friend, he took objection to Srimati Radharani saying all those things against Krishna. So he said some things back. So it was going back and forth between brother and sister, Radha and Krishna. Radha and Sridham. Radha going back and forth. So then at one point, they both got angry. Radha cursed Sridham. Oh, you were talking like that, thinking you can say so many things. You are talking like Asura. You become Asura. And Sridham retaliated and he said, you're always going on about Krishna, but you say bad things. I curse you that you will remain separated from Krishna when you come to the world. When it's your time to come to the world, you will be separated from him for 100 years. You'll be separated for 100 years. That's why Radha stayed in Vrindavan. When Krishna went to Mathura, she didn't go. And when Krishna went to Dwarka, it was 100 years separation. Only at the end did Krishna come and be with Radha again. So all this is a result. So Radha, and then just after that, both Radha and Sridham were crying. What have we done? We've said bad things against each other. They both went to see Krishna, and he told them, don't worry, actually this was all my plan. I forced you to say those things. Because now it's time for us to go to the world of the earth. And so Radha, you will appear there. And Sridham, you have to go and be Sankachuda. Because actually Sridham had affection he actually wanted to marry Brinda Devi. So, but he knew that she only had the thought for Krishna. So he had that yearning to marry Brinda Devi. So Krishna knew that. So he was fulfilling Sridham's desire, but he would have to come as Sankachuda. So Sankachuda went there, and Brahma told Tulsi that Sankachuda will be your husband and he will come for you. So then they got together. They became married by the Gandharva. It was a big story. It's a whole big story. And so they were married, and then Sankachuda did the tapasya again to Lord Brahma, Brata, to get powers. And he wanted immortality. He could remember his past life also, but he had a duty. He wanted immortality. Brahma said, I can't give him immortality, but you can have the amulet of Krishna. As long as you wear the amulet of Krishna and your wife stays faithful to you, no one can defeat you. No one can defeat you. This is the story. So Sankachuda said, well, who can? It is like immortality. I will wear the Krishna amulet, and my wife is all devoted to me. So he thought like that. But so Sankachuta went and conquered everywhere. The Devas were very perturbed. They went to Brahma, and they all went to Lord Shiva, and then they went to Vishnu, and then Vishnu said, Lord Shiva, you are quite competent to kill this Sankachuta, and he told the whole story. Actually, he's Sridham, but this is some Leela. You have to fulfill this, and you have to kill him. But you will not be, even you will not be able to kill him as long as he's wearing my amulet, and his wife is faithful to him. So I have to do some trick. So you fight with Sankachuta, with all your army, and they're his army, and you take him away from being at home. And then in the meantime, while he's fighting, I will go and I will disguise, I will make myself Sankachuta. I will make myself Sankachuta. And before that, before Sankachuta went out to the battle, Krishna came there as a beggar, as a Brahmin beggar, and he said, I've come for charity. And he went to Sankachuta. And what is it you want? I want your amulet. I want your amulet. So Sankachuta was very charitable. He couldn't refuse the Brahmana, so he gave his amulet. But he thought that, well, even I give the amulet, Tulsi's devoted to me, so as long as she's devoted, I'm no problem. But then he went to the war with Lord Shiva. And then of course, Vishnu went there and disguised as Sankachuta. And then when he came, he made, by his mystic power, he made a whole army, blowing on the trumpets, everything like that, like, we were victorious, we won the battle against Lord Shiva and all the Devas. They all came together. And so as Sankachuta came inside to be with Tulsi, and he was proclaiming, we were victorious over Lord Shiva and all the Devas. He was saying like that. So then after some time, they went inside, and he was intimate with Tulsi. But she understood this is not the usual intimacy with my husband. So she divined that something is not right here. And so said, who are you actually? Who are you? In the meantime, Lord Shiva knew that Tulsi had broken her chastity with being with Vishnu. So he fulfilled her desire because she wanted to be with Krishna. Vrindadevi wanted to be with Krishna. So Krishna came as disguised as Sankachuta. So all these desires were fulfilled. All these stories are interconnected. And so it's a very wonderful story. So Shiva divined that actually, now's the time, and now I can kill Sankachuta. So he threw one of his weapons, and Sankachuta knew my time's up. He was just waiting to go back to the spiritual world. He just laid down his weapons, and he let the trident come, and he went back to be Sridham. And so, but Tulsi became very angry, and Krishna, who are you? And Krishna revealed himself. Oh Krishna, you are so tricky. I gave myself to my husband even though I want to do, and I gave myself to him, and you have tricked me by disguising yourself. So you have tricked me even though I desired you, but still you have tricked me, it's not right. And so you have the heart like a stone. So you have the heart like a stone for doing like this. So you should become a stone. So actually this is how Krishna became Shalagram Shila. We have the Shalagram Shila. And Krishna said, well, I think that you should become, you have given yourself to me, and you'll be eternally connected to me through my form as Shalagram Shila. You will become the Gandaki river. Also, you will become the Tulsi plant. And we will be married in ritual, Tulsi with Krishna or with Vishnu. So this is Tulsi Vivaha. This is the story of Tulsi Vivaha. So they were married, they had their marriage, and so we're celebrating. Today is also our anniversary of Tulsi Vivaha. So today is also the last day of Kartik, last day of Panchaka, so many auspicious occasions today. And so a very wonderful occasion. So thank you very much for coming tonight and showing so much affection and engaging in these very devotional activities. The Madhijis are fanning Yasona Damodar. So thank you. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Jai Shri Shri Radha Damodar Bhagavan ki Jai. Tulsi Vivaha ki Jai. Oh Premanandi Haribo. So now we come to do.
Harinam Prabhu, where's the other mic? Harilam Prabhu. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Oh, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So once again, thank you so much, Maharaj. So allow me to read, because the students, they just met you, so allow me to read your background, because they're asking me.
just sure.
Yeah, very sure. I have here from the internet. Okay, so Hare Krishna once again. And thank you, Maharaj, for being with us. So His Holiness Ramai Swami Maharaj was born in Alexandria, Egypt, but grew up in Australia when his parents moved there when he was 4 years old and studied music at the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. He came in contact with ISKCON by reading a Back to Godhead magazine belonging to a friend from the university. His interest in the spiritual content was awakened, and he began to associate with devotees regularly. After some time, he joined as a full-time member and was initiated by Srila Prabhupada in Melbourne in 1973. So Ramai Swami Maharaj spent his formative years in ISKCON in the Brisbane and Melbourne temples, and later headed bus program traveling to cities and towns and sharing Krishna consciousness all over the Australian continent. And he took sannyas vows in Mayapur in India in 1982, a big contributor to Australasia through his kirtans and classes. He's also appreciated. He is appreciated by many for his amiable nature. So his background as well in leadership began as Vice Temple President in Auckland from 1974 to 1976, and continued as Temple President in Adelaide, Melbourne, and the new Govardhan farming community from 1976 to 1986. He also acted as Regional Secretary in Queensland from 1983 to 1986, after another stint on the traveling bus program from 1986 to 1990. Ramai Swami Maharaj became Temple President in Sydney. So he served as National as well as Secretary for Australia and New Zealand. And he became a member of the GBC. His zonal assignments have included Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, the Solomon Islands, New Caledonia, Vanuatu, Indonesia, and Mayapur. So, furthermore, Ramai Swami serves on the parallel lines of authority and the organizational development committees with the aim of improving the organizational strength of the GBC and thus the whole movement. Other positions of responsibility, he has served on our 2 terms on the executive committee and 2 terms of as chairman of the GBC. So again, let us welcome His Holiness Ramai Swami Maharaj. Haribo! Thank you for coming, despite he just arrived from Raja Eco Village. So now the next program, of course, we'd like to acknowledge Tripura Mataji who organized this event, this program. Thank you so much for those who have, cooperate and help for, to have this wonderful program. And this is very auspicious day because it's also, aside from the last day of Kartik month, today is also Tulsi Vivah. So the next program will be Damodarastaka. So we would like to ask Maharaj to lead.
Haribo.
Okay.
All of the way.
Okay. Hari naman
You want to do the
Ah.
Ati? Do the Ati for the Namangat?
You want to do?
I can do that.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Everyone have a copy.